Hi everyone, this is Sidra Hassan from the Crescent Model School. I'm doing IPGCE from the Strathclyde University of Scotland. I'm teaching science to grade 4 students and grade 5 students, and I'm dealing with girls. I love my job and I'm passionate about learning innovative things. I feel really privileged to be a student of IPGCE, and I choose teaching as a profession to make a positive change in a positive difference in my students' learning journey. Today, I'm going to deliver a reflective monologue of my own teaching practice. And for Module 2, I have chosen a topic that is how to create a positive classroom environment, and in which I am going to discuss on behavior management. And my topic is a disruptive classroom will elevate teachers' hazel and burnout rate. In 2015, Torren and Sekinar, they give an idea that classroom climate can be divided into three dimensions. Number one is firstly the teacher-student relationship. Number two, the peer relationship. And number three, which is the most important, is the education atmosphere. Now, I want to make my classroom a good place to learn, where students want acceptance, safety, highly respected, they desire for positive praise and value. And these are the basic rights of the children. And if I know the rights of the children, then I will definitely try to overcome those rights of the children, and then I will try to overcome those barriers also, which I'm going to I want to nurture every child of my class, and I want to promote inclusive education and create a productive environment with lots of opportunities to grow. I want every student involvement in my class. So for this, I have to make interactive lesson activities to engage my students. Children learn actively through everyday experiences. Now, I'm talking about my teaching style, then I have two things in my teaching practice. Number one is teaching strategy, the love of my subject, and number two is the relationship with my kids. So I'm dealing with 4C, that is actually critical thinking, creativity, communication, and collaboration. While the fifth C is actually choices. So I have given choices to my students so that the students will learn more. If I'm talking about the relationship, the second part of my teaching strategy, then this is the sixth C. This is actually care. So care is the element which the students remember in their life. I don't remember what my teacher taught me, but I remember that how teacher she care for me. So this is a very important element, and I strongly emphasize of praise in my class, as I'm dealing with 9 to 10 years, so they need encouragement to complete their work. Some need less encouragement, some need more encouragement. And as I'm teaching to the science to my students, so when I formulate lesson plan, like I keep in mind all type of learners and focus on the hands-on activities as the students learn more now when we perform some activity. And I focus on the collaborative work, and it is actually slightly difficult because I'm going to teach in I teach in the class, then the class go very smooth and the students work very well. But if it happens when we make groups, then I use rainbow card method to make the groups, so students work in a collective effort in the small groups, and they perform some discussions, and they discuss on different puzzles. So the three important things that develop in them is actually collaboration is trust, tolerance, and the self-awareness. They tolerate the behavior of the other. And there was a Chinese author, Wai Xingli, and he has suggested that plan your behavior. There should be a behavior plan as your lesson plan. So behavior plan is also as crucial as making the lesson plan. Creating a positive classroom environment is an effective a very way, and teachers can address the problems in the classroom by developing appropriate relationship with the student, so that the student will be more comfortable in their academic settings. Effective classroom management does not happen automatically. If the students' attitude, their behavior, their teaching strategies, all of these things are in place. The most important influence in your classroom environment is that how this teacher manages, and if this classroom is not properly managed, then I will the stress level. You will not feel calm. And now I believe that instructions are one of the important component. The goal is to make students self-disciplined and a student. And I wish to teach effectively and give meaningful learning to my students. I follow usually three F's in my class. That is actually friendly, fair, and firm. But I consider that I'm not firm teacher. Because when I enter the class, the students rush towards me. They are telling their stories about their homework. They are giving their feedback about their activities, which is actually gracious that the students are actually sharing their knowledge with me. But I usually take feedback in warm-up sessions, and I build a positive relationship with my students through communication. And I promote class discussions and peer interactions. I usually stay connected with the students. The challenges, I'm talking about the challenges, the it, challenges like actually that I'm not firm, and sometimes I get frustrated in attaining my goals due to the disruptive talking of my students. And I want to encourage those students who have academic problem. But during the demonstration, I don't like any disruption in the class. I want to deliver knowledge, and I expect that everyone should listen. Right? But sometimes it is very difficult with 19, 20 years old student. And then I after repeated instruction, I used to increase my tone. Students are very difficult to manage, and I feel like yelling at only them, then. And actually, while doing PG cert, yelling or screaming is not the right way, or raising your voice is not the right way to manage the class. It is actually a poor management technique, and it badly affects the mental health of the students and the teacher-student relationship. So it is actually the a very important thing, that it is actually the teacher relationship is actually effective. And other than the teacher relationship, the mental health of the student, and I don't want that my student mental health is will disturb. So that's mean that I have to switch my strategy, switch my way. And my health will also badly affected if I'm not feeling I'm feeling exhausted. Then how can I teach my students? My family will also be disturbed as when I go home. Then I have some challenges to face, and I think my professional life is also connected with the my family life. So the problem is actually the self esteem, self management. Students can actually be a tool in reacting these things. And yelling actually weakens the influence in my students. And and I'm the role model of the teacher, so I'm showing a terrible role modeling to my students, which is also very bad. Dr. Laura really revealed that yelling leads to the low self-esteem and self-harm among the students, and it produced the results similar to the physical punishment. So I realized that it is actually very scary. And I'm sharing terrible role modeling to my students, and it will damage the relationship also. So then I have changed, and I have started working on the anger management, and that how to control my anger. So there are different ways, the double psi method, and the mindfulness exercises. So I'm going to infiltrate these things. So I'm actually self-regulating myself to control my anger. And so it will, this positive thing will go in the cycle, right? And my students will also feel positive in their class. And I should use the polite language and raise concerns in a respectful manner. So I want to train my students to so that their tones will be set. And this is the ongoing process, an ongoing journey, and we will learn more. And after doing PG cert, I got to know so many things which I didn't know previously. And I'm applying those strategies, those things in my class, and I'm getting a very positive impact in my class. And when I'm teaching my students, that I want that for example, I'm saying that I want my class to be self-disciplined, changing these words from those words that I'm not going to teach you why are you raising your voice, don't raise your voice. Instead of saying these words, you can say the expected things. So I was really astonished and surprised to see that these are the magical words, and these are giving me a very positive change in the students' behavior. So I guess this is the ongoing process, and it will go on, and it will keep. It is a challenging work also, and I hope that it will work well in my class, and they will be trained, and these things I will inculcate in my students' behavior, so that they will become more self-disciplined. Thank you.